Hey everybody, welcome back to more Kirby SuperStar. Last time we finished off the Gourmet Race, and today we're doing Great Cave Offensive. So, Great Cave Offensive is pretty interesting for a mode. I'm gonna start out by saying this. This is my least favorite mode in the game. I will delve into this more in this part and the next part, but I wanted to start out by saying this is the most different mode throughout the game. So, let me explain what the Great Cave Offensive is. Basically, if you ever played a Metroid game, or the later Castlevania games like Symphony of the Night and on, you've probably heard of the term Metroidvania. That's basically what this mode is. This mode is very, well, I don't want to say similar, but let me rephrase this how I actually want to do it. This kind of concept would be brought back for the GBA game Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, and that's often regarded as one of the weakest Kirby games, and I've never played Amazing Mirror, and after hearing some things about it, it doesn't sound horrible, it more just sounds boring. But I still want to play it, just to give it a shot one day. But, while talking about that, this is my least favorite mode in the game, because I do think this mode is admittedly, it's the weakest mode in the game and kind of boring. It's not that I dislike Metroidvanias. I like Metroid games. I haven't played all of them, but I like them. And I've never really played Castlevania Symphony of the Night or any of, like, the Metroidvania Castlevania games, but, you know, I would probably enjoy them, I think. I like Super Metroid, just to clarify. That's a great game. But I just think this mode is kind of boring. I don't think Kirby really works in a Metroidvania sense. Like, well, the thing with Metroid, Metroid kind of, it has a lot of things working with it when I talk about it, in a way. I love the setting for Metroid games. I love the whole, like, cold space feel where something's gonna, it can jump out at you and attack, you know, I love that. And they're just fun games in general, but, with Kirby, I don't want to say this, I think it's honestly because of how simple the games are, that they do kind of drag, and I don't know, it just, this mode just kind of doesn't do it for me, and I don't know, it just, I don't know how to really explain it without fully giving my full thoughts on it yet, but I'm not the biggest fan of this mode. I actually consider this the weakest mode in the game. This kind of style would be brought back for another Sakurai game. Obviously, Super Smash Bros. Brawl with the Great Maze, I believe is what it's called. And that's everybody's least favorite mode of that, or segment of the entire Subspace Emissary. I think the Subspace Emissary is underrated, personally. But it's purely a lot of the haze, because it's not amazing, but let's be honest, the Great Maze is the worst part of that game. The thing with the Great Maze is, like, it's such a big maze, and it doesn't know when to end, and it comes at literally the worst point in the game it could show up, and that's what sucks so much about it, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. It's weird, like, I don't like any of the Nintendo games that try to do, well, I say that, and then I just think of Metroid again, but yeah. So the point of what you're really gonna do in this mode is you're gonna go to 4 to 5 different areas, I believe, and you're gonna fight different bosses. So right here we're fighting this giant whale with a pipe, who, I've gotta admit, I actually like this guy's design. It's simple but creative. It's literally just a whale with a pipe in his hand, wearing a sailor uniform, I noticed that. Strategies I recommend for all the bosses in this game: definitely do your guard. If you're playing the Super Nintendo, or with the Super Nintendo controller like I was, it is the right trigger button, so definitely use it. It comes in handy for a later boss, I find. Not that any of the bosses in this game are hard, this game is pretty easy, but still, I use it, you know. So I guess, I really didn't talk about the story for this mode, and we kind of saw that little cutscene in the beginning, but I can just explain it as well and kill time, because that's what works here at my channel. So Kirby's basically just walking around, and then he falls down a hole, and he's in a cave, and he's like, I need to, you know, venture through. It leaves me questioning, Kirby falls down a hole, but Kirby can fly. So why didn't Kirby just flap his little... Well, he doesn't have wings, but his little arms, and then he can go back up to the surface. It's kind of easy. Yeah. Didn't really think that one through, did you, Kirby? It's time for minecarts as well, because the Super Nintendo loves minecarts. I about said Minecraft, but I guess that too, you know? God, could you imagine Minecraft on the Super Nintendo? That would have been interesting. I'm sure someone has made... Well, like, this Minecraft, you know, the internet in general is huge, but Minecraft's fan base is massive. It's one of the most popular, well, actually, it is in the top 10 most popular games of all time. That game, it's insane how popular Minecraft is. But it would have been interesting to see something like that on a Super Nintendo. Like, this is random, but I've recently been playing A Hat in Time. It's a pretty fun game so far. Obviously, it's based off, like, the N64, GameCube, 3D platformers of the time. And, I was kind of thinking, I was like, you know, if this would have been on the GameCube, I would have loved this as a kid. And I do like it now. I'm not very far into it, though, so I don't want to say I love it yet. You know, but it makes me think, like, with games like today, if they were on older, like, consoles, like, it'd be insane. Not even just graphically, but the ideas for it, you know? I know it's kind of like a really dumb and random topic to bring up, but I do like thinking about something like, would it be as popular on old hardware if used? Like, I know some games can only probably work on new hardware, like cinematic titles, but even then, you had games like, what's the Hideo Kojima game? Is it Snatcher? I believe it's Snatcher. It was very cinematic. I've never played it. That's a game I would love to see remade, because I love the, like, cyberpunk cop setting thing. It's really cool. I don't actually know much what happens in that game besides that. I would love to, you know, play that game, or, I mean, I can emulate it, but I would love to, like, see it get remade, you know, but I don't know. It'd be neat. I know I just completely didn't talk about Kirby there, but let's be honest, there was not much going on. We're just kind of exploring the Great Cave Offensive. I do like this area a lot. It's kind of like Diamond Mine, I guess. I don't know. I guess because we were kind of talking about the minecart section a little bit there. The minecart sections, or the music that plays when you're in the minecart sections, is actually a remix of Stage 2 of Vegetable Valley from Kirby's Adventure, and I guess technically Nightmare Dreamland as well, since it's a remake of it. And I guess also, I didn't really think about this, but Great Cave Offensive is in another game as well. I don't know how I didn't think about this, but it's in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, and Ultimate, of course. I would say Great Cave Offensive is the worst mode in this game, and it is the worst level in both Smash games. I hate that level. And it's sad, because when you play it, like, I think visually it's such a nice-looking level. I love how Great Cave Offensive looks. It's just, I don't like how big the level is. Any Smash level that is huge sucks. Besides Temple, that's it. Temple's the only good big Smash level, and I will fight someone, at Smash Bros, of course, not in real life, I'm a pacifist, it just sucks, I don't know. You can meet me at my house, I'll invite you in, you can have a nice cup of tea with me, and maybe, a milkshake, I don't know, if I'm feeling really nice with you that day, and we will play Smash Ultimate, and I will send you back home crying to your mother, because that's how I do things here in the Pants house. That sounded so stupid, but in my head, it was smart and funny. I do apologize, but this is off topic. I'm just off topic. We're kind of just running around right now. I probably sound really weird. I'm getting off of a cold at the moment, so please pardon me. It happens. So, I didn't really mention this, but we're collecting... This is really bad, I'm just now mentioning this. At this point, we're almost at the end of the video of the first part of the Great Cave Offensive. Their goal for... I can't believe it took me this long. It's been off topic. The goal for this mode is to collect treasure. Basically, the treasure is completely optional. You don't have to collect any of it if you don't want to. So, basically, if you collect the treasure at the end of the game, you'll get a certain amount of, like, points you get. It really doesn't do much of anything, as far as I know. I think it's one of those things you can do it if you want to. I do know when you do Meta Nightmare mode, you don't really have treasure, you just have food at certain points. Like, where there's maximum tomatoes, there's just food, that's it. So, yeah. This is one of the most creative bosses in the Kirby series. This is basically the computer virus. It's like an RPG boss, so you'll fight a slime, kind of like you would like in a Dragon Quest game or something, and you'll beat it up, and you'll have pauses. Always use the guard. The guard option, which as I said, Super Nintendo version, right trigger. I'm assuming it's the same for the DS game. Very handy to do. In particular, the last boss you're gonna fight with this guy. Or a virus, technically. But I do love the little, like, mentions you get when he tries to attack you. Like, he's like, you know, dancing dolls are running around or something. I like that a lot. Like, he flips a nuclear missile switch. Like, Jesus. That's insane. Only... Kirby. Kirby has a really weird sense of humor, and it has a deep lore, which I could dive into. That actually might be something I do for Kirby 64, because it deals more with, like, the dark matter. This wizard looks like he's seen something. Or he's like, that face, like, when you bust a nut, she keeps sucking, you know? That's such a weird thing for a children's game like Kirby, but, you know, it happens. I do love this boss, though. This is actually my favorite boss in the game. Well, like, besides the final one. The final boss is great, but this is my favorite of, like, the bosses that you will fight regularly. I actually do think this is probably the hardest boss in the game, just because in the multiple phases. That's really about it. Oh wait, no, we don't like the final one. Maybe, okay, that's for a later time. So, I should bring up, these bosses we're going to see tonight are brought back for the final mode in the game. They're harder, I think, in the final mode of the game, personally, but we'll see that when we get to that. And that's the end of the first episode of the Great Cave Offensive. We've explored half of it, and next time we will finish off the Great Cave Offensive and, you know, escape the cave with all of our treasure. Arg, because I'm a pirate. My mom would be so disappointed in me.